Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told how to voice the radio. And the other day, we took a little bit of a look at the current value of the alternate art Tyranitar, as well as the Empoleon. And I told you that the alternate art Tyranitar was the money card in the set, and incidentally, I was kind of right about that. However, there were a couple of people that got in touch and went, well, you know what, Wossy? You're kind of forgetting about Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX, because the alternate art of that is also kind of a money card from Battle Styles. And you know what? They were right. They were absolutely right. So I thought about having a good old cry about the fact that I had not mentioned that card in this video, and then I thought, well, hang on a second. Why don't we just do a follow-up looking at the two Urshifu? We did see that Tyranitar was worth about 3 times as much as Empoleon, which is probably a good thing because that Empoleon artwork is amazing and I want it. So you know what? Let's take a look at Urshifu and let's see what we've got in terms of value here, whether one is more expensive than the other. And then, of course, we can quickly compare it to Tyranitar at the end and see if I was, in fact, wrong and whether this was the money card all along. Remember, any websites I mention in having a look at this video here are not websites with which I have any actual affiliation. It is purely just websites where it's quite easy to find prices and where a bunch of people will vaguely trust them. So starting off with TCG Player there, they've got the market price of this Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX listed at $145 or $146, with listings as low as $135. But if we actually go and look, the lowest price that is actually sitting there at the moment is $175. And I hate to break it to you, ladies and gentlemen, but if you've been following the online tournaments as closely as I have, and the tournaments in Taiwan and the tournaments in Japan, etc., you will notice that Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX is quickly becoming a tier 1 meta deck. What that means is an awful lot of people are going to want to be playing this deck, and it means that a lot of them are going to want to bling it out as much as they can, which means this is going to be the version they are looking for. For anyone that's wondering, $175 as the cheapest listing. If we compare that to what we looked at with Tyranitar the other day, well, actually, it's higher. The value I gave you for Tyranitar the other day was $147.50, which puts this a little bit higher. If we head on over to Troll and Toad, which is another website which is pretty good for just giving us values, again, it's not perfect. Usually I expect Troll and Toad to be slightly more expensive because they are more of a shop rather than TCG Player, which is more of a marketplace. But we are sitting here again at $175, in complete lockstep with the lowest price we saw on TCG Player. And $175, let's be clear, that is a lot of money for a Pokemon card. That is right up there in terms of just super expensive Pokemon cards. At least ones you can pull from packs. Now, comparing that to the Tyranitar from the other day, we saw that actually over on Troll and Toad, that was being sold for $160. So, closer, but not there, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely not there. What that means is that it really does look like this is genuinely more expensive than Tyranitar. And don't get me wrong, right? Tyranitar is still a money card. Tyranitar is still a very expensive card, make no mistake about it. But I think at this stage we might have to concede that this Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX might be actually the more expensive card. Now, as we head on over to eBay, please remember that we are only interested in sold listings. It doesn't matter what somebody is asking for the card, the only thing that is important is what people are willing to actually pay. And that seems to be about $120. Now, there is one listing that sold with 30 bids for $118. There was another one that sold $125, and it was just $125 buy it now. It wasn't a best offer, so slightly more expensive. But like I say, that was a buy it now that somebody put up and crossed their fingers. There was a 9.5 CGC sold for 260, but do remember that CGC in terms of value does not add in terms of PSA. Now, having said that, I am not seeing any PSA listings for Urshifu, because as we talked about in a video the other day, there is a massive backlog in terms of PSA, so you are going to struggle. Now, we have seen the occasional listing here really jump up. There was one that actually sold on the 16th of April, and that one actually went for as much as $232.48. But that was sold out of Australia, so it might well be that that was bought by someone in Australia that couldn't get any others to ship to them. It might just be an anomaly. It might be as simple as that. Generally speaking, around about $120 does seem about right. We've seen them sell for less. There was one that sold on the 18th of April for $75. That was unfortunately a single bid that was accepted. Somebody put it up as a bid. Nobody bid on it. Someone got an absolute bargain. But if you go searching through these listings, generally speaking, $120 is about what you'll pay. So the general rule is you're paying about $120 if you're buying it on eBay and about $175 if you're buying it from an online store. So let's put the value somewhere in the region of $150. For anyone that's wondering, just to finish off, we did see that Tyranitar was generally selling on eBay for around about, well, it was actually all over the place to be honest with you, but around about $140-ish was probably a fair guess. So on eBay, these prices are quite a bit closer together, and honestly, there are plenty of eBay listings where the Tyranitar was actually selling for more. So I suppose, in conclusion, we could put them on about even footing. Now, it's not fair to only look at one of the Urshifu. We need to take a look at the other one as well. But make no mistake about it, the single strike Urshifu has proven to be significantly less playable in these online tournaments over in Taiwan, over in Japan. So it's also, as far as I'm concerned, and I like the artwork, it's kind of cool, but I really do think the artwork on the other one is significantly better. So we've got a much less playable card with much less cool artwork. Over on TCG Player, it is currently being listed with a market price of $70 or $69, with listings as low as $60. And if you actually go and take a look, the lowest listing there is $70. That is not bad, ladies and gentlemen. $70, well, it's less than half the price. If we head on over to Troll and Toad, we're going to be paying $85. Again, Troll and Toad generally slightly more expensive because it is a shop rather than a marketplace, but you're still talking about a significantly cheaper card. You're talking, well, just under half the price of the other one. It is really a significantly cheaper card. If we head on over to eBay, again, we are only interested in sold listings because that's what people have actually been paying. We're generally looking at somewhere between $50 and $70. It is, well, it's a little bit more awkward because it is a less valuable card. We do see the listings are a little bit all over the place. We've got one for $60, two for $70, but then there was one where we had $30 and a best offer was accepted. So, you know, it sold just a day ago as I record this and sold for very little money. You know, somebody picked this up for $30, which is quite a lot cheaper. Honestly, if we are looking at the value of this overall, adding it all up, we're probably looking somewhere in the region of $60. It is worth about half as much as the other Urshifu. But like I've said, we could point to the artwork there, or we could even just look at the fact that Single Strike Urshifu is looking like a meh deck, and Rapid Strike Urshifu is looking like one of the very best decks in the format. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. It seems like as much as Tyranitar is a money card, Urshifu is at least on the same level as it. Tends to be more expensive on websites, slightly cheaper on eBay. And we really do seem to have an answer in terms of which of these Urshifu is the most sought after, and it turns out it isn't really particularly close at all. But I'd like to know what you think about this, ladies and gentlemen, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, or you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.